I have a few questions for you, but before we start, maybe if you want to tell us who you are and what you are doing.
Yeah, so I'm Louise and I'm from Nestle and I'm a climate and carbon neutrality manager for the company. And I also run our One World network in the UK, so our youth network for Nestle in the UK.
Wow, great to have you here. So my first question would be, what do you think youth, so us, the future of the planet, what can we do to raise awareness about climate change?
Yeah, I think the main thing that we can do is to make sure the message is getting out there. So we have a lot of different channels that are used by kind of younger people compared to kind of established channels that other people are using. So making sure that we're making our voice heard in terms of raising awareness of the climate crisis, alternative solutions, making sure that all marginalised people are being brought into the conversation. I think youth have a really specific ability to do that. I think we should do that and make our voices heard in those channels.
All right. Nice, thank you. Then, speaking from your perspective, you work in the food industry. So, I was wondering, how can we make youth think about food as more sustainable, about how they consume food in a more sustainable way? How can we maybe use arts and culture, and how can we make this topic of food more attractive, more interesting for youth, in order for them to understand how to be more sustainable in their daily basis?
Yeah, I think it's a good question, because I think a lot of the conversation around food and food waste has been managed in a very similar way to different parts of the climate crisis. And I think art can be a really key tool to making it stand out a bit more from that, and also to try and get the information across in a different way. So we've been talking a bit this week at the Extreme Hangout panels about kind of how sometimes you need a bit of a shock factor, or you need to stand out a bit more, and how over time the same messages kind of become slightly wallpaper. And so having art, different forms of it, highlighting the issue of food and food waste specifically, I think is a really good way to kind of push it higher up the agenda and make it stand out a bit more.
That's great. Nice, thank you so much.
Great, thanks for having me.